Hi, my name is Beth, and you're listening to the Cannabis Fitness and Nutrition Podcast, where we are hanging out at the intersection of fitness, nutrition, and cannabis. Thank you so much for pressing play today. I'm excited that you're here, and today we're going to talk about recovery. Yes, exercise recovery, which is possibly the most obvious way that cannabis can help, but sometimes it's so obvious that we don't even think about it, right? Side note, I do appreciate that you're here. I did take a break this week and to reset and realize that there's almost 90 episodes, and I really hope that you're learning from this, that maybe it's a little bit entertaining, and please share. I don't do this for any reason other than to be able to share information and educate, because I'm a talker and I like to talk. And Instagram is hard for me because you have to keep it very concise. And if you're listening to this and you've been listening, then you know I like to explain, possibly over-explain, but that's okay. That's what this platform is for. So please share if you're finding this educational and helpful, or moderately entertaining. Anyway, back to recovery. This is such a good one because this happens so often, is that we're sore. So sore. I mean, I've been a personal trainer for like almost 20 years. And over the years, I can't even tell you, so many times people will complain about the soreness in ways that are too much. It tells me that there's no recovery happening. So they'll say, I don't want to come in today. I'm still so sore from, Monday's workout, and that's like Wednesday, right? Or say, I'm still so sore from last week's workout, and now I don't want to do, XYZ. I don't want to do arms because I'm so sore from doing arms last week or 2 days ago. Or they'll say, well, I was so sore. I was so sore for a whole week. I just finally felt better yesterday after working out last week. And sometimes that's okay, right? Sometimes when you do an exercise that you haven't done before, then you are going to probably be sore. That is just the breakdown of the body. We're challenging the body in a new way. It's not used to it. And the body has to really recover and repair, and that's what creates soreness. A little bit sciencey here. When you exercise, when you lift weights specifically, or even run or walk, your body is microscopically breaking down tissue. And then what happens is when you eat, drink, and go to sleep, your body takes all the nutrients that you've eaten and oxygen and all water and brings all these things to those cells that you broke down, and they repair themselves. It's a miraculous process that we go through every single night, and it's really critical. And that process can actually create soreness. I know that sounds like, okay, so is soreness a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it is a good thing and a bad thing. Soreness is a good thing because it means that your body is healing itself. But when your soreness is so extreme that it's keeping you from working out, that's what we're talking about today. Because yes, it's normal to be sore sometimes, right? It's normal to be sore and then feel better. It's normal to be slightly sore. It's normal to feel like you did something. It's not normal to be so sore that you don't want to walk up and down the stairs, that, the old, like, we did leg day and now it hurts to sit on your toilet, right? It's funny. It's a meme. It does happen from time to time. But my clients know that that's not my goal. Sometimes you're going to feel a little more sore than others, depending on what we did. If we did something new, you're going to feel more sore. Sometimes that's just, a factor of, what you ate, how much water you drank, what else you did. Did you walk 5 miles and then go sit down for 5 hours without stretching? Things like that. There's so many factors. But what I want to talk about today is understanding that when you are so sore that it's keeping you from working out more, that's too sore. That's under recovering, right? You crushed a workout on Monday. You're like, I'm back at it. I am finally back on the wagon. I'm working out. And then Tuesday, you're like, whoa, my legs are wrecked. You can't sit on the toilet. You can't tie your shoes. It makes you tense. It makes your body being tense, makes you emotionally tense. And now you're kind of irritated. You're irritable, right? And you're just sort of like not happy with yourself because you're sore, you're a little angry at your body maybe, you're a little frustrated that you finally got back to the gym, but you're so sore now you don't want to go today, right? You're dreading the next session. You know, Wednesday, Thursday, you're calling me, your trainer, going, I think I should skip. I'm so sore. You know, and I'm going, okay, I don't know because I don't know how you feel. I can't feel what you feel. Should we push through it? Should we not? But at the end of the day, you're just caught in a cycle of under recovering, right? A couple things are true. You will be less sore the more you do, okay? So if you are super sore the first day back, that makes perfect sense, right? As you keep moving, you're going to increase your blood flow through the muscles, through the areas, which is actually going to help the recovery process. Now, I'm not saying that you crush your legs on Monday and then go crush your legs again on Tuesday. I'm saying that if you crush your legs on Monday, on Tuesday, you go for a gentle, easy walk. You know, or you hop on your bike and spin for a little while. Nothing crazy. You just get your heart rate up, you get blood flowing through your muscles, and that's actually going to enhance your recovery, right? So sometimes it's just knowing what to do, and it's keeping moving, you know, honestly, and I usually say this now that I've been doing this for a long time, I usually tell people when we do something new, I'll say, you know, this is a new movement, or, you know, we went super heavy today that was new, you know, don't be surprised if you're going to be a little sore from this. And the best thing you can do when you're sore is to keep moving. So don't bail on yourself. Don't sit on the couch tomorrow. Don't think you need to skip your workout. Just do something light and easy, you know, stretching, yoga, walking, gentle, swimming. You know, this time of year, it's summer right now. So, you know, swimming is so great to help you move. You know, you want to get more blood flow to the muscles to enhance the recovery. So, and recovery is not something that, you know, is really talked about unless someone's trying to sell you something. And I'm going to tell you here that while I'm not selling you cannabis, I'm trying to sell you on cannabis, right? So, you know, and there's a lot of talk about a lot of glorification of being sore. And I think that the conversation needs to change into what are we doing? What do you need to be doing? And how to listen to your own body. And that's where I'm at. That is the essence of what I do, what CannaFit, my style of personal training, my style of coaching is what do you need to do to recover better, right? Now, movement is going to be number one, right? Number one, in order to really feel the best and help your recovery is keep moving. And it's probably counterintuitive advice, right? It's probably the last thing someone on an average person would think is to be, oh, so you actually want me to exercise again, even though I'm sore? Yeah, actually. And sometimes it's as simple as, you know, just working different body parts, you know, if you did legs on Monday, then maybe do some upper body the next day, you know, don't crush them again, but let there be blood flow. Let there be blood flow through the muscles, which is going to help encourage the recovery process. And here's the other part. There's a little bit of a mental aspect to it. Right? And this is something that you're going to have to talk yourself through. But I think if you know this, maybe this will help, is that there is a mental aspect in that. Have you ever done this? Let me rephrase it like this. Have you ever skipped a workout, not because you didn't want to move, but because you were thinking about how brutal it was last time, right? And I know this is true because, again, I've been a personal trainer for a long time, and people will be honest with me a lot of times and be like, last time was death. Can we please not do that again? And that happens from time to time. If you have a hard recovery process, then yeah, you're going to not want to do that. I think, that even can trickle into some workout or gym anxiety about, taking classes or even personal training, because without as much control over what you're doing, you're dreading, and now your mind is going to worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, I feel like death, because last class I took, I felt like death. And I had no control, and the instructor was saying, go, go, go. And now my legs are trashed, and I can't sit on the toilet. And that's all you remember, and now you don't want to work out, right? So there's a little bit of a psychological aspect. But I want to name that and point that out because I want you to know that if you feel like that I want you to be able to take your power back. Because, first of all, you in any environment, and I'm speaking to you as a personal trainer, fitness instructor for many, many years, is please always do what feels best for your body. Yes, your instructors, your trainer is there to push you, but they should also be looking to make sure that it is appropriate for you, right? Not every person is supposed to be doing the exact same thing at the exact same rate, at the exact same strength. So if the person next to you in your class is lifting, I don't know, it's just an example, is lifting 20 pounds over their head, pressing, it doesn't matter if you lift 20, 25, 15, 4 pounds, I don't care. It's what is best for you, right? Because everybody's body's different. So that being said, speak up for yourself. Sorry, that took a second to get out. Speak up for yourself. Please don't be afraid to ever speak up for yourself, because it is your body. Your body recovers the way it recovers. And even though I have years and years of experience, I don't know your body. You know your body. So please feel free to tell your fitness instructor that, no, this feels fine. Or, nope, I'm good. I'm good. Leave me alone. I've got my weights and I'm doing what I do. I trust you. And as your personal trainer, what I'm doing is I'm trying to learn your body with you so that I can advise you appropriately. That's what it's all about. So I want you to know that sometimes being so sore is a lesson in you learning your body, speaking up for your body, and speaking up for what's right for you, right? In terms of the mental aspect of it and taking your power back, right? Now, here's the cannabis part of it. We are taking your power back. You're sore. You are trying to work out consistently, not skipping by keeping moving, right? Taking your power back by listening to what's best for your body, speaking up if you're in an environment where a trainer or a coach is pushing you, speaking up for yourself, taking your power back because you know how your body responds, right? If you took a class and you were so sore, then, maybe this week's class, you say to yourself, I showed up, but I'm going to go a little bit easier on, just for example, those overhead presses. Because it took me a week for my neck to feel better. And, that the goal of any exercise is not to make you so sore you can't do more. Never is that anybody's goal in exercise. It shouldn't be. If someone tells you it is, I feel like that's alert the media. Don't do that. But you get my point, right? So anyway, here's the cannabis part of it. Cannabis, one of the most powerful things it does in our body is reduce inflammation, specifically CBD. CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC, all the CBs, They are fantastic, phenomenal at reducing inflammation in your body. And the cool thing is you have so many options of ways to use CBD, and it is non-intoxicating, so you don't have to worry about getting high if that's of concern. You can pair it with your THC if you do like to get high. Then I would add CBD to your THC. So if you're smoking, if you're rolling joints, dry or vaping like I do, you have the ability to control what goes in your joint or bong or vape. And you can, like, I just take a little bit of the THC flower and I put it with a little bit of I use CBG flower, and I mix it together. It's like a half and half. And that way I get all of the goodness from the CBG, and which is, again, it's similar, anti-inflammatory to CBD, same basically, without intoxication. And then the THC gives you a little bit of that buzz if you like it. If you don't, that's fine, take it out, but you've got the option. So if you're a smoker, that's what I would do. That's what I do. If you are more of an edible person, if you make your own edibles, you could do the same thing. You could put in, like when I make my buzz balls, I put in a couple of teaspoons of the THC oil with a couple teaspoons of the CBD oil and make a concoction that way so that it's got that powerful anti-inflammatory in it, but also the buzz for the buzz ball part, right? So you could make an edible. When you shop in the dispensary or online, there are tons of products that are both CBD, combination of CBD, or CBG or CBN and THC. You know, manufacturers are getting smart. You know, these are actually, most of these products are made by people with experience in cannabis. Usually users have gotten into the cannabis industry somehow. And so, you know, they're smart. They know that that's the combination that works really well. They know that CBD is anti-inflammatory. So they're adding it. You're finding gummies and tinctures and all kinds of things that are, you know, consumables, edibles. Those drink mixes are great. And they come in combinations of CBD with THC to help with this, bring that CBD in, reduce inflammation in your body, and along with the buzz. Now, CBD is great by itself, reduces inflammation, it's calming, it breaks your anxiety, right? It brings you some calm and some clarity and some focus. And again, that will really help your recovery because of the inflammation, right? And it's just such a miracle worker. But if you're not, even if you're not interested in consuming it, or if you want something extra additional to that, topicals. You know I don't spend enough time on topicals, but they are magical, like just magical. There's so many. You could make your own. You can, all you got to do is heat up cook your weed, your flower in the oven for well, I can send you the recipe. If you want the recipe, let me know, and I'll send it to you. But you cook the weed in the oven. I usually just infuse it with coconut oil, and then you can use the straight infused coconut oil as a topical. You could blend it with some shea butter or a beeswax and make, like a lip balm, or you could make a lotion. You could make all kinds of cool topicals, and there are so many for sale already on the internet. The other cool thing about the recovery aspect is that because CBD is such a prominent part of prominent anti-inflammatory and a prominent part of the recovery process that cannabis helps with, a lot of it is available online. As of right now, where we sit in July 2025, it is still not federally legal to sell cannabis over the internet or federally at all. But CBD falls into a loophole, and it is federally legal, and they can even use tiny, tiny amounts of THC in it. So you may find things online that are CBD heavy, maybe even a little bit of THC, but that are fantastic products that work amazingly well. There's a fitness-specific company out there that I got a couple samples from. It's Cannabis, CANN BOLIX. And again, I can put that in the show notes. And they sent me a soothing freeze gel with 1,500 milligrams of CBD. And it's fantastic. I love it. But there's some in the local dispensaries. There's so many online. I would be happy to point you in the right direction. If you want to send me a message and let me know where you live, I can help you out or send you some online options. But just, a shout out to this Cannabis place. They are fitness specific because they know that it's an amazing pain reliever, inflammation reducer, and great for sore muscles. And again, CBD, you're going to want to look for a higher dosing though, because remember, a topical you're going to put on top of your skin, and it's going to absorb, and it's going to locally go straight to the fascia and the muscles underneath and reduce soreness that way. So you're not ingesting it. But in order for that to be powerful and get through the layers that it needs to be a higher dose. So while you might consume or you might use 10 to 20 milligrams of CBD just orally, in a tincture or a gummy or something, when we're looking at a topical, again, this one says 1,500 milligrams. Like, that's a lot, right? But that's the kind of strength you want. You want high doses of CBD to get that powerful anti-inflammatory when it's a topical. So low dose THC is usually your best bet when it comes to cannabis and recovery. It'll reduce the tension. It makes you feel better. So it relieves the pain, the feeling. It also enhances your ability to listen to your body, right? To make that all the movement and recovery process intuitive again. And I love to talk about how we pay more attention to our bodies when we use cannabis. So low dose THC is great for that. So really, cannabis is gonna help you faster recovery, build more consistency, because now you're able to recover faster. You know that if your workout on Monday, you're sore on Tuesday, you're going to go for that walk, right? Because now if you go to your class on Wednesday and your instructor says, go grab the heavier weights, you can do more than that, take your power back. Say, you know what, I'm good today. I'm a little sore from Monday, so I'm going to go with these lighter weights today, and feel confident that you're getting just as many results from that, listening to your body. And you're not going to dread your workouts anymore, because now you know what to do, right? So you've got your cannabis, you've got your topical, you've got your CBD that you're adding, or your gummies or your flower that you're inhaling, and you are feeling better faster. Your soreness is not lasting for an entire week, right? You're recovering better, you're feeling better, your mood improves, and you look better, you move better, you feel better, all of that. So cannabis for recovery. And if you have any questions or want personalized information about that, just send me an email. It's beth@cannafitnessnutrition.com. I hang out on Instagram mostly, which is Beth_CannafitnessNutrition. And again, please share this. If this is helpful for you, please share it with a friend, a workout friend, or a cannabis friend. And let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to hear me talk about on the podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.